again with season 5. You all know me, I'm Mona Lisa Joshi, and this is my talk show called Mona Lisa's Talk Show. And today I have another interesting guest with me. Her name is Srijani Rupsha. She's a literary enthusiast, also a research scholar, literature student, and also an author. So let's quickly welcome Srijani Rupsha. Hi Srijani, how are
Hi,
you?
hi, Mona Lisa. I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm great. Welcome to my show. Looking forward to talk to you.
Thank you so much. I'm also looking forward to talking to you.
Okay, so first of all, let me ask you the meaning of your name. You have such a beautiful name, Srijani Rupsha. What does it mean?
Yeah, Srijani is actually means creation. So it's my birth name. I've been named this as a child, and then my grandmother used to call me Rupsha. So it's my nickname. So then when I started publishing, I wrote like Srijani Rupsha, and Rupsha means some. It's like a river in Bengal, so it's called Rupsha. So yeah, that is what it means. So it's like creation and river. So it's a kind of a very naturally like oriented name. So yeah, that is what I would call it. Yeah.
Okay. And I think you love your name, as I can see that
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
very happy and proudly giving me the meaning.
Yes, yes. Like I love my name because I love the people, the loved ones who are my loved ones. They call me by this name, Srijani Rupsha. So when they call me, I feel really, really happy. So that is why I love my name. Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. So you are a poet and you have, I think, solo poetry book to your credit, or there are more?
Yeah, like solo poetry books are Dandelion Skin was one. It was a small micro chapbook kind of. And the one is like the recent one is Topography of the Mind. It was written in 2023, but published now. And then the other one is Smoked Frames. And the Smoked Frames one, it is actually written in 2023 and 2024. So it was published in 2024. So these are the three books that are solo, and the rest of them are like anthologies.
Yeah, I could see from your profile that you're extensively published. So we'll talk about that. But first of all, I really want to know that you have written in your profile, and this thing caught my attention that you are
Mhm.
rebellious in nature, but you express your soft side in poetry. So how this
Yeah,
contrast happened? Please, I would like to know.
yeah. Like I also discovered it recently because I've been very rebellious very recently. So my first like act of rebellion would be that I actually dropped out from college just because the college was too disciplined. And other than that, I was also like not in a good mental headspace at that point of time. So yeah, that
Right.
was also something. But when talking to soft side, when reading my poems, I was sharing my poems with some poets like she's Shiksha. She is from Africa. She writes. So while sharing, I found out she mentioned that you have a very soft side towards your poetry. So then I understood that whatever the internal emotions are, my anger is, sometimes I channel it into the creative expression of poetry. And sometimes I become too angry, so I don't have that space of catharsis, and then I just act out. So yeah, that is the contrast. But actually, I'm a soft person from inside. I
So
feel that.
how long you've
Mhm.
been into writing poetry? When did your journey start?
I have been writing poetry since I was a child. I was like in class three. So I wrote my first poem in Bengali. And after that, I started writing in English and started publishing during lockdown only. So started publishing during lockdown.
Okay. Okay, now another interesting thing I would like to know from you that you have a forthcoming collaborative research paper about pornography in youth. Now, this is something very interesting and unique, so I really would like to know more from you.
Yes, it was like an open call, and I found it out on Twitter, and then I saw that why not apply? It was from University of Sydney by Alan Mackey. So he gave an open call, so it was quite an inclusive opportunity. Like he also wanted to include me, and all the other participants are from Australia. So okay, so we had very few submissions, I guess, like applications, and then uh, he chose us, and it was about five sites. which show healthy pornography. So, like in India as well, we have storytellers like Seema Anand talking about like healthy pornography, difference between pornography, which is not very healthy, and like the free pornographic sites, all of them, they have these kind of things which do not show women different body types. Their sexuality is not shown. So that is why I found this topic very interesting when I used to watch these videos, and I thought I could do some work about it. But obviously, there's some taboo related to it. So then I found this opportunity. I applied. So five videos, video sites were there. We had to look through those videos and then find out elements in those videos which show like representation and women's body types. All of them are shown, and then talk about it in our own ways as a youth. What is our opinion on them, and how do they
Right.
actually show inclusive sex? Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Right. So I noticed that you have also done a participation in a poetry workshop, I think during the lockdown. So how did that happen?
Yeah, it was during lockdown, and it was also through an open call again, and it was from Canada, and that time it was lockdown. That is why I could only participate. So otherwise, they do this residency there only. It was in Etobicoke, if I'm able to spell it correctly. So it is done by Imprint CA. So they had Jacqueline Valencia as the guest, and she did a workshop with us, talked about how we can represent security or safety in different formats. Especially, it was a very important notion to talk about during lockdown period, and that is how I was like related with that workshop. And we did that workshop, and then we made poems of like 4 lines, 5 lines, and then that was given, like that was shown in the exhibition they had in that street. So that was one. In the other workshop, I held that workshop. I was a very nervous person at that point of time. Somehow I did that workshop. It was I Hear Myself Think, and it was a mental health podcast. So I did my workshop with mental people who have some mental conditions with them, and I did it on rasa theory and poetry. So I made them write poems about it, and it was a very beautiful interactive session.
Okay. So it stayed only up to a workshop, or were the poems were published somewhere like or in a e-zine maybe, or online platforms?
Yes, like some of their poems were published on that very website itself, Hear Myself Think website, and they read out their poems during the workshop. And
Okay.
our work was also inspired by the work that they were doing. So yeah, so it was quite a
So
good
it was an
opportunity.
online workshop or it was a physical one?
Online one, obviously, like it was not physical, and it was during the
Lockdown,
lockdown
during
time.
the
I was
lockdown,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Right, right.
Mhm.
My bad. I I got confused. Okay. So let's talk about your book, Smoke Frames. I actually saw that it's quite critically acclaimed, as you have mentioned that it has been reviewed in various journals and I guess newspapers. So, what kind of themes you have explored through this book?
I actually, what I did while compiling the book, some of the poems are already published, and some of them I wrote while I wanted to compile the book. So most of the poems, they are about spirituality. So there are two very sections of the book. The first section is about the self. So it's all about my notions of spirituality, psychology, myself, my inner fears, my love, everything. And the other part of the book is about Indian culture. So it's mostly to do with the cultural systems in India. And it was published by Canadian Press. So obviously they loved that very idea of Indianness in it.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was the book all about. So mostly it's about transcending spirituality, psychology, a lot about love and memories and Indian understanding of a Bengali
So it
poet.
okay. So it's available in India since you're saying it's published by a Canadian press.
Yeah, it is not available in India right now. It was a limited print run. So there were a few issues with that very publication, and that is why it was available in India. It was never available in India, I think. So that was also something which was an issue to me. I would definitely publish it again, and I'm trying my best to do it. So yet again, a rebellious nature of me. I just didn't negotiate that much. I said, fine, you just do away with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I would tell you one thing, because I'm a
Uh-huh.
publisher and I've experienced
Yeah, yeah.
many things. So I noticed that it's always good when an Indian, writer gets published in India only because you are able to do the launches, you can do the book release, you can, attend events. So it's always good because I mean, I feel so. It's rare.
Yeah, yeah.
Rest is your call, of course.
Yeah, we can definitely chat about it again, like, and we can talk about it.
Definitely, yes,
Yeah, and
yes.
many other publishers have also recommended me this, so I also felt it, so it would have been better. But again, in India as well, there is a lot of gatekeeping, I feel, with the
But I would just,
publishers.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah,
But
obviously.
yes, yes. But I would just give you a little bit of good thing that might interest you. That there's a
Yeah,
Women Poet of the Year award going on my website, on my publishing house's website. So you might, like to check it out if you feel like. So
yeah, definitely. I will check it out.
okay, so
Is it about
you
poetry
would,
book or something? Or?
it's for yeah, it's for a full manuscript of poetry.
Okay.
Okay. So would you like to read something from your book, Smoked Frames, or maybe the latest one?
I will read from the latest one because the last one is here. Like Smoke Frames is not published yet in India, so
I
we'll
see.
read.
Yeah.
And this is available in India as well, like with this one, because one can buy a PDF scene of it. So I would read. Can I read three poems? Would it work? Or
Yes,
should I
yes,
read
please.
one?
But before you start
Okay.
reading, quickly, I have to know that why does the book look almost like a notebook? It's so handmade kind of feel. It has a handmade kind of
Yeah,
feel to it.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
like
was
they are.
a
Yes, it is like planned on it. They are kind of a DIY kind of uh, publishing house, and they said that they wanted me to. They actually proposed that whether it should be totally handwritten. I said half of it can be handwritten. Like I wanted to be totally experimental about it, so I said okay, do it on red paper, and then some of it is handwritten, some of it is yeah. That is
okay. Do you have the book? Could you show it to me?
no, actually, it has not come to me as yet. Like yeah, it is coming from the US, so yeah, it has. That is why I have it on my laptop right now. So I read from there.
Sure.
When it comes, I'll definitely send it to you.
No worries.
Yeah. Okay, so the first poem is Images of Love. So this book has three parts to it. One is about the psychoanalytic theory and Freudian stuff that I've read as a psychology student. The other part is about cognitions, and the other part is about emotions, fears, and anxieties. So I'm reading from the third part. It's called Cognitions. Images of Love. We form patterns and imagery, they say, about the attitudes of the affects, cognitions, and behavioral tendencies. Keeping up with all decency, I ponder upon images of love. It is the craggling of night when you are in sight. What's the befuddling estuary? Brackish waters in me, hunger hankering, thoughts of being undone. In this slow kiss, the warm rush, the strange smell, the guttam dump up of heart, the incessant cuddling of images held dear to the soul, like the silver pink day, wind-shirred, cold, love in the lilac skies, striving more, visages of dreams emerge, lightnings evolving into something insane, a dissolving pain. I say, hold my hand, sing and dream, let me take wing, until the light fades, this love would stay even then. The first poem, and then I would read the other one. It's what should I read? Okay, no, not this one. Falling in Vibhatsam Rasa. I'm reading this one. Vibhatsam Rasa, the idea of repulsion, the obsessive self-harm and indulgence, remembering words again and again and again. It's okay to not be okay. I feel like falling in dreams, falling from the bed, falling and bruising through the staircase, pausing and halting as I fall in agony. There are walls of desolation all around me. Recall how I fell on the street, but whenever I'm falling, you're always helping me stand. You hold me tight, and it feels all right to say aloud, I love you.
Wonderful.
And yeah, and then another poem I read, which is totally like psychoanalytic in nature. Would you allow me to read that?
Yeah,
Okay,
please go ahead.
okay, sure. It's called dream interpretation. Roy wrote to the unconscious, dream work and unconscious desire, Freudian interpretations into the hidden contents of my dreams, your dreams. The myriad sensations feel heavenly, all in the understanding, hunger, thirst, and erudite urgency. All the childhood wishes repressed for years like the submerging of glaciers arise in dreams. The condensation of impulses in dream image. My ego echoing displacement, supposedly displacing intensity of anger into low rock turning into salt, all typical dreams, anxiety dreams, punishment dreams, further enriching me, turning me into a pillar of needs, fulfilling my invincible greed.
That's quite profound. Wonderful.
Thank you.
So you have also portrayed the mental health issues through your book. So why exactly is that you have chosen? I think you've chosen multiple themes and sub themes, I guess. But why mental health? Because you are too young, I guess. It's mostly we see that people in mid ages and they talk about mental health issues and all. So if you are comfortable to answer, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I'm comfortable to answer because, like, I have suffered from mental health issues right from childhood. Like, I had kind of suppressed depression, untreated depression for a long period of time. And there was a time I used to have medications. So, at such a young age. So, I was just 18 plus back then. And then I used to have medications. And yeah, that was the time when I was feeling like I was in my absolute low. And my partner helped me come out of it. And today I'm standing here without medications. And I'm really happy about it that I have overcome that phase. And I would love everybody to be able to understand more about mental health. And that's why I talk about mental health in everything that I write. Mostly, like, all of my writings, they naturally have this in it.
But do you feel that it is still talked that elaborately in India or other parts? Because I think it's still a taboo. People are not talking about it as much. It should be talked about.
No, like good work is happening. Like Live Love Foundation, Live Love Laugh Foundation is doing good work. Like Deepika Padukone's foundation, and there are many other places. Like there is Mun Talks. And I'm not promoting anything here, but like I'm just saying that things which have
Yeah,
helped
yeah,
me.
definitely.
So yeah, yeah. So these are there, but then again, the familial structure in India, the very idea of somebody suffering from mental health, it is so very full of taboo. Like it's
Hmm.
just the same as we had in the Renaissance time during England, like people talking about being witches. Then you have a mental health issue. So you're being
Hmm.
labeled as a Daini Dayan, that is in Hindi.
Right.
So when you have certain kind of issues. So these things happen in families, and this is like certainly a sense of trauma that a person feels again. Like obviously they are suffering from something, and then again you are labeling them, and then that is a dual trauma that a person suffers from, if I would call it that. So it is not being talked about in India. The things should change, and mental therapy, mental health therapy is so costly. Therapy is so costly nowadays, and no
Right.
family, no parents would allow that.
Hmm.
Please.
And you just said that you were also into spiritualism and also meditation. So, how did that help you come out of your depression stage and all? And how much poetry has helped you?
Poetry has been my everything. I would say poetry has been the most helpful thing. Whenever there was something wrong happening at home, I would feel most lonely. As a child, I had no support. So what would I do? I would write poetry. And I've also had my papers of poetry torn at home because I've talked about my own suffering. So that has also occurred to me. And then coming out of that and publishing my book of poems has been such a great deal. And then finding my partner, him helping me, making me become the best version of myself. All of this, my friends, all of them, they have been so supportive from time to time. So poetry has been everything. It's like poetry has given me a lot of things. Like it has helped me to vent out. It has helped me become somewhat financially independent writing. So it is all. And other than that, meditation, I started meditation recently with one foundation, and like, they do it well. But if it is not that in family, you don't have that peace at home, you would not be able to get that entire effect of meditation. But I still try doing it, so it has helped me like to fully concentrate and be focused on into something that has helped. So, yeah.
Wonderful. And apart from poetry, do you plan to also explore some other options also of writing, like into prose maybe or fiction?
Yes, I would love to do that because like that seems to be a more like not so rarefied kind of art or genre. So would definitely want to do that, to go into that space where literally festivals would approach me and I would go out and speak. Anyway, not talking about the kind of things that happen, but anyway, that's funny. Yeah, I would love to do something about nonfiction. I would love to write something about mental health when I research more, when I read more about it, when I become kind of good, well understood, when I understand topics well, more deeply. I would definitely want to do something in nonfiction. But I also love fiction, but I don't know if I have the ability to do it right now. I don't feel that I'm really having that resourcefulness to bring out a story or something. But definitely, I would like to poetically explore that as well. So if something turns out to be good, definitely I'll do it.
Wonderful. So it is also believed that when you write, you also have to read a lot. That kind of chisels you, your hone your art and all. So do you also like to read? And who is your favorite poet or author?
Yes. So I read a lot of poetry, but I think I don't have the concentration or attention to read a lot of fiction or non-fiction. But one book I had read, I got it as a prize from school. So that was by Bapsi Sidhwa. I found it very relatable. It's called The American Brat. So like that was a very good. So I like reading those offbeat stories and stories of authors who are not that famous. So I love that. And other than that, poetry, Arundhati Subramaniam, like I love poetry. Other than that, I have read poetry of Nitin Eskil, very beautiful. And other than that, American poets, Ocean Vuong, like I love his poetry. And Mahasi Popa, I love these poets. Like I've always read them. So yeah, during lockdown, mostly I explored that.
Wonderful. So do you take inspiration from any of these poets you have just mentioned, or it's all your authentic style?
I definitely take inspiration, and it's not always my authentic style because no, obviously some of the poems they feel very raw. So, and then I try to edit it. So I learn about the kind of editing work that these poets do, and I learn a lot about their work, their practice, and everything. Whatever is possible online, like reading on Poetry Foundation, and then even doing like my practice regarding what kind of poetic expression works with what, like different forms of poetry, trying out a new form that some poet has done, or taking one or two lines from that poet's work and trying to build up on that. So all of these inspiration has come over time.
Right. And I noticed that you are also extensively published through various anthologies and publications. So how did the journey start, and how did you got to know about, all these various anthologies happening, and what was the submission process and everything?
So at first, I started like I just explored that how to publish poetry. That was the thing I wanted to do during lockdown only, and then I found out the first website that came up was Poets and Writers. It's in the US, I think. So then I found out certain magazines. The first magazine that published me was Harbinger Asylum. Maybe it's a Texas-based one, and now it's like out of it's out of like it is in hiatus or whatever it is. I don't know the pronunciation. So yeah, it is not there now. But anyway, and then I actually found out different submission calls, their websites. Like Hopkinson's website is a very good one, and then we have Thompson Calls by Katie. And
Hmm.
other than that, in India we have Facebook groups. So all of them tell
Right.
us about different. Yeah. So
Hmm.
from then there only I found the submission calls and all, and I started writing. So, and then I used to like send my poems if they felt like there was a time when I used to even write poems based on the topic that they have assigned. But now it's like if I find some poem which suits that, which I feel that I'm really like connected to that topic, then only I send it. So, yeah.
So where do you see yourself 10 years down the line as a writer or maybe an author?
10 years down the line, very difficult, but I would love to be like a very approachable, a very down to earth, a very happy, and a very satisfied poet, and then a writer. Yeah.
I think that's a very good answer, satisfied and happy. Because right
Mhm.
now, being in the literary world and also in a place where I get to see many authors, I feel it has become a race more than a journey. Authors are like they are craving for that fame, and being the bestseller list, being in the bestseller list has become kind of craze among them. So it's very good that if you can be happy and content and satisfied.
Yeah.
So wonderful. Okay, so you are still looking for the smoke frames to get published in India. Other than that, do you plan to have some other manuscripts published in India also? Do you have such poems ready?
Yeah, I do have, I think I have one manuscript ready. I have two manuscripts ready almost. Like, I want to publish them in India only. I just want to publish them in India.
Okay, nice. So, any advice you would like to give to the aspiring poets? Because I think you have three books to your credit. So, you're already a published poet and author. So, what was your journey like, and how many challenges you have faced?
It is very challenging even to this day. And it's going to be challenging for a few years now. I just think like whenever you are overcoming one challenge, another challenge comes up. So it's always challenging. But anyway, you should not lose hope about the writing that you are doing and try to edit it, try to learn a lot about the process of writing. It's not just about like a raw form of writing is definitely my preference, but it always doesn't work with the magazines if you want to publish it with a very good magazine. Also, do what your heart wants. You don't have to get into the biggest of the magazines in order to be the most successful poet, but you just be happy with whatever publications come up and whatever opportunities you get, just get it. Don't think that this is not a very good opportunity. I'm not going to do it. Just do it.
Hmm.
That's all I would say. And just go
And
on
how,
writing.
right? And how do you take rejections?
I used to be very sad. I used to like feel that okay, this didn't happen. Now I'm like fine, it's gonna happen. It's very something which is cannot be avoided. So yeah, let it be the way it is. I'll try again. Maybe some places which I really want to be published with, I try again and again and then. And some places which were not very things that I liked a lot. So I would not try more. But still, you should try. Yeah, you go on trying. Some of the other person would publish it. Like I had one rejection and then it got published in three magazines back to back. Like the published piece again got published. So it's just about the subjectivity, like how the editor perceives it. So yeah.
Hmm. Wonderful. And do you have any Indian author whom you take inspiration from right now in the contemporary times?
Very contemporary time. I think I met Shalini P. Sokar in Shulini Literature Festival. So I haven't read her book, but the way she talks and the kind of work that she's doing, that is really commendable. She's very young. And other than that, I would say a very young somebody. I think Shiksha is someone whose poetry you must read. Shiksha um, writes and she has some essays and chapbooks to her credit, and she has a poetry book to her credit. So definitely she's the one. And I think we should read more youth poets, and we should read people who are more underrepresented, and we should give them the credit for whatever they are doing rather than talking about the poets who are always being represented in the literary festivals. Again, I'm talking on and on about this because I so want to be a part of a literary festival this year, and this is not happening. So yeah, I'm kind of not happy with that. But anyway, uh, these are the kind of poets that or the authors that I really look up to, and I also like take inspiration from, other than all the biggest and the great names who are there in India. Yeah,
So mostly when I've talked to authors who are like they have four books to their credit or maybe five, they all have someone who has played like a role model to them. So, like, somebody would say Arundhati, or maybe somebody might say Jhumpa Lahiri, or somebody might say Chitra. So, do you have someone like that, a role model maybe?
Yeah, the
From
first time, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, please go
during
ahead.
lockdown, I used to follow Tishani Doshi a lot. So yeah, I would
Okay,
say that Tishani Doshi inspired me into poetry. So yeah, like that was something I used to follow. And Arundhati Subramaniam also, I have read her poems. I have also bought her books. Like I got it as a prize. I had to choose that which book to buy, so I chose the poetry books only. So yeah, so
very nice,
I have read all of their poems, most of them.
wonderful. So, Srijani, was lovely talking to you. I hope that you stay connected, because I would suggest you that you please join the group. It's called Chrysanthemum Chronicles. We do their prompts. We have submission processes. The updates, are posted there. So it would be something that might interest you, because it's a literary based group, and also my
Mm.
publishing house. And also, it would be wonderful that if you also participate, or collaborate with some of our projects. So wonderful talking to you, Srijani. Lovely having you today.
It was wonderful talking to you as well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.